There is a flower, the Greeks, named Helichrysum, Helios meaning sun, chrysis meaning gold, immortal gold. They named it this because the flower never wilts. Cut it from the stem and it holds its shape and color for years without water. Monks across southern Europe grew it in every monastery garden from the 6th century onward. They infused the flowers in olive oil and applied it to aging skin. The oil was never sold. It was made in the kitchen, from a garden, for free. Today, the same oil sells for $120 per half ounce in specialty skincare stores. The flower still grows in 60 days from a seed that cost less than a penny. Subscribe and hit the bell. Every share helps preserve what they tried to erase. In ancient Greece, 7th century BC, the Greeks considered Helichrysum sacred. They wove the golden flowers into wreaths to adorn the statues of Apollo, god of the sun, healing, and eternal youth. Legend held that Apollo himself wore immortal in his laurel crown, the only flower deemed worthy of resting upon the brow of a god. The name immortal was not poetic embellishment, it was observation. The flower, once cut, does not decay, it does not brown, it does not lose its petals. It holds its golden color and its shape for years without water, without preservation, without intervention. The Greeks saw this and concluded that anything which refuses to die must contain the secret to eternal youth. They were not wrong. Hippocrates, around 400 BC, prescribed Helichrysum preparations for wound healing and skin inflammation. He documented its ability to close wounds faster and reduce scarring. Dioscorides, in the 1st century AD, listed the plant in De Materia Medica, the foundational text of Western pharmacology, as effective against burns, skin disease, respiratory illness, and inflammation. Pliny the Elder recorded that Roman physicians applied Helichrysum oil to aging skin, noting visible improvement in texture and firmness. The Roman military carried it in field medicine kits to treat burns and sword wounds. When the Western Roman Empire collapsed in 476 AD and classical knowledge scattered into fragments, the Benedictine monasteries became its last sanctuary. Monks transcribed the medical texts of Dioscorides, Pliny, and Hippocrates by hand. They preserved not only the manuscripts, but the plants themselves. Every monastery maintained a physic garden, a medicinal plot situated beside the kitchen, growing the species described in the ancient texts. Helichrysum was among the most common. It grew easily, it demanded nothing, poor soil, full sun, infrequent water. It thrived on the rocky hillsides of Sardinia, Corsica, Dalmatia, Croatia, and Provence. The monks harvested the flowers in midsummer, dried them in shade, and infused them into olive oil by the jar. The infusion method was unchanged from Hippocrates to the 15th century. Dried flowers placed in a glass vessel, covered with cold-pressed olive oil, left in warm sunlight for 4 to 6 weeks, strained through cloth, applied directly to skin. The monks used it on burns, on surgical scars, on wounds that refused to close, on aging skin, on inflammation, on bruises. They recorded observations generation after generation. The skin healed faster. Scars faded, wrinkles softened, texture improved, color evened. The oil worked. For 1,500 years, from the time of Hippocrates to the emergence of synthetic chemistry, Helichrysum-infused oil was the standard topical treatment for damaged and aging skin across the entire Mediterranean world. It was not exotic, it was not expensive, it was not rare. It grew wild on every dry hillside. Any person with a garden, a jar, and patience could make it. And for 15 centuries, they did. Then the modern cosmetics industry arrived, and free became proprietary. The global anti-aging skincare market was valued at $55.66 billion in 2025, projected to reach $107.61 billion by 2033, growing at 8.9% per year. The Botox market alone, botulinum toxin injections, was valued at $8.65 billion in 2024, projected to exceed $21 billion by 2034. Estée Lauder's skincare division generates $7.14 billion in trailing 12-month revenue at a reported gross margin of 76.1%. L'Oreal reported $45.7 billion total revenue with a 74% gross margin. 76% gross margin means that, for every $100 of cream sold, it costs the company $24 to manufacture, package, and ship it. $76 is markup, marketing, packaging, executive compensation, shareholder returns. The active ingredient, the actual compound that touches the actual skin and produces the actual result, is almost never the expensive component. A 2000-21 analysis of prestige skincare found that the cost of ingredients inside a $100 jar of face cream averages between $2 and $8. The rest is the story they built around those ingredients. The frosted glass, the gold lettering, the proprietary name, the language that implies you cannot make this yourself. You can. Helichrysum essential oil appears in products from L'Occitane and Provence, where they brand it Immortal and sell it as their premium anti-aging line, starting at $48 for a face cream and climbing past $104 concentrated serums. The marketing language says rare, precious, exclusive, extracted through proprietary processes, available only through us. The plant grows from seed in 7 to 14 days, reaches maturity in 60 to 90 days. It is a perennial. It returns every year without replanting. It survives drought. It prefers poor rocky soil. It actively thrives on neglect. A packet of 20 seeds costs $2.86 from any online seed catalog. A single established plant produces enough flowers every summer to make 12 months of infused oil indefinitely. From one planting, forever. Now, here's what the science says, and the science is not ambiguous. After the age of 25, human skin loses approximately 1% of its total collagen per year. By age 40, a measurable 15% of structural collagen has been degraded. By 60, the loss accelerates dramatically. This is not primarily due to decreased collagen production, although that occurs. It is primarily driven by an enzyme called MMP-1, matrix metalloproteinase. MMP-1 is the collagen-destroying enzyme. It is present in all skin at baseline levels, but ultraviolet radiation dramatically upregulates it. Chronic stress increases it. Pollution increases it. Smoking increases it. Sugar consumption increases it through glycation. Every environmental insult your skin receives increases MMP-1 activity, and MMP-1 does one thing. It cuts collagen fibers, literally slices through them. Once cut, the collagen fragment cannot be reassembled. It is lost. The wrinkle that forms in its absence is permanent unless new collagen is synthesized to replace it. Every effective anti-aging compound in the history of dermatology works by one or both of two mechanisms: increasing new collagen synthesis or decreasing MMP-1 activity. Retinol does both. But retinol causes burning, peeling, severe redness, mandatory sun sensitivity, irritation that lasts weeks, and restrictions so significant that pregnant women cannot use it. Many adults try retinol and abandon it within the first month because their skin cannot tolerate the adjustment period. In 2025, a research study evaluated Helichrysum italicum essential oil specifically for anti-wrinkle effects. Published through the International Journal of Cosmetic Science, the researchers tested it on human dermal fibroblasts, real human skin cells, and measured to endpoints. First, type 1 procollagen production, the precursor molecule that becomes structural collagen. Second, MMP-1 expression after UV exposure. The results? Helichrysum essential oil increased type 1 procollagen production in human fibroblasts. It suppressed UV-induced MMP-1 expression by 9.5% at low concentration and 15.1% at moderate concentration. Both results statistically significant. Clinical testing on actual human periocular skin, crow's feet, showed a measured decrease in wrinkle depth of 5.92% at 2 weeks and 11.63% at 4 weeks of nightly application. No burning, no peeling, no redness, no sun sensitivity, no irritation, no prescription, a flower in oil. Applied to skin. A separate 2024 study published in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences analyzed Helichrysum italicum hydrolate, the water-based byproduct of steam distillation, typically discarded as waste on skin stem cells and fibroblasts in a dynamic wound healing model. The results demonstrated significantly increased collagen deposition, accelerated wound closure, and the activation of a molecular stemness program, upregulation of October 2 SOX2 and NANOG, the transcription factors that maintain skin stem cells in their youthful regenerative state. Simultaneously, the treatment downregulated P16, the senescence gene, the biological clock that tells skin cells to stop repairing and enter permanent retirement. It upregulated BMI1, which prevents premature cellular aging. It upregulated TERT, the gene that maintains telomere length, the biological countdown timer of cell death. In plain language, even the waste product of Helichrysum, the water they throw away during essential oil extraction, told aging skin cells to behave young again, to make more collagen, to keep dividing, to keep repairing, to not give up. The compound responsible for much of this biological activity is called arsenol, a prenylated fluoroglucinylate alpha pyrrone that exists in no other widely cultivated plant on Earth. Arsenol inhibits NF-κB, the master switch of inflammation in the human body. It inhibits 5-lipoxygenase. It inhibits cyclooxygenase. It prevents lipid peroxidation, the oxidative destruction of cell membranes that accelerates visible aging. It is simultaneously anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antibacterial, and antiviral. One compound in one flower that grows in a pot on your windowsill. Additional active compounds include naryl acetate, up to 42.5% of essential oil, composition contributing anti-edema and analgesic effects, naringenin, chlorogenic acid, telluroside panosumbrin, over 400 identified bioactive compounds working in synergy. No single molecule serum in any department store can replicate what this plant does as a whole extract. Here is what you do. Method 1. The monk's method. Infused oil by dried Helichrysum flowers. A 4-ounce bag costs $8 to $12 online and produces several months of supply. Alternatively, grow the plant yourself. A $2.86 seed packet germinates in 7 to 14 days. Grows to harvestable maturity in 60 to 90 days. Returns every year in hardiness zones 8 through 11. In colder zones, grow it in a 12-inch terracotta pot on a sunny windowsill and bring indoors before frost. Place a generous handful of dried flowers in a clean glass jar. Mason jar works perfectly. Cover completely with carrier oil. Extra virgin olive oil is the traditional Mediterranean choice. Jojoba oil is structurally identical to human sebum and absorbs without residue, better for oily skin types. Rosehip seed oil adds additional vitamin A content. Seal the jar tightly. Place in a warm, sunny window. Leave 4 to 6 weeks. Shake gently every 2 or 3 days. After 6 weeks, strain through cheesecloth or fine mesh into a dark glass bottle. Label with the date. Apply 4 to 6 drops to clean skin every night before bed. Massage gently into crow's feet, forehead lines, nasolabial folds, neck, and any scarring or uneven texture. Allow 2 to 3 minutes to absorb fully. Follow with your existing moisturizer if desired, though many find the oil sufficient alone. Cost per year: under $5 if you grow the plant, under $15 if you purchase dried flowers. Unlimited supply from a single plant that lives for years, requires almost no care, and produces abundant flowers every June through August. Method 2. Essential oil dilution. Purchase Helichrysum italicum essential oil from a reputable supplier. A 5 milliliter bottle of genuine steam distilled oil costs $25 to $40. This is the concentrated extract. Dilute 3 to 5 drops into 1 tablespoon of carrier oil. Apply nightly to face and neck. At 3 drops per night, a 5 milliliter bottle lasts approximately 33 days. Monthly cost, $25 to $40. Still less than a single jar of Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair at $78. Still less than 1 unit of Botox at $300 to $600. And the mechanism of action is regenerative, not paralytic. It rebuilds the skin rather than freezing it. Method 3. Hydrolate. Spray. Helichrysum hydrolate, the aromatic water produced during steam. Distillation costs $8 to $15 for an 8-ounce bottle. Spray directly onto clean skin morning and evening as a toner. Allow to air dry, follow with moisturizer or facial oil. The 2024 study demonstrated that this byproduct, alone this discarded water, activated collagen synthesis and stem cell regeneration pathways in human skin cells. $8, 8 ounces, 90 days of twice daily use. 48 hours to see reduced redness, 2 weeks to measure wrinkle depth change. 4 weeks to feel the texture difference under your fingertips. Now compare. Botox, $300 to $600 per session. Lasts 3 to 4 months. Requires a needle injected into facial muscle. Paralyzes the muscle so it cannot contract. Does not repair skin. Does not rebuild collagen. does not address the enzyme destroying your collagen, masks the symptom, ignores the cause, requires repeat visits indefinitely, carries risks including bruising, headache, eyelid drooping, and asymmetry. Total annual cost for maintenance, $1,200 to $2,400 per year. Every year, for life. Retinol, $20 to $100 per product, causes peeling, burning, irritation, and mandatory photosensitivity. Cannot be used during pregnancy. Requires weeks to months of painful skin adaptation. Works by forcing accelerated cell turnover, effective but aggressive. Many users abandon it. Helichrysum, $2.86 for seeds, 60 days to first harvest, free thereafter. Infuses into kitchen oil in 4 weeks. Increases collagen, suppresses the enzyme destroying collagen, activates stem cell renewal genes, downregulates cellular senescence. No irritation, no sensitivity, no prescription, no needle, no waiting room, no invoice, no expiration date. A clinical study showing 11.63% wrinkle reduction in 4 weeks. From a flower that grows in a pot, the anti-aging industry projects $107 billion by 2033. The flower is still $2.86. The monks did not patent it. The Greeks did not trademark it. Hippocrates did not license it. For 2,400 years, it belonged to anyone with a garden and a jar. The industry did not erase the flower. The flower still grows wild across every dry hillside from Sardinia to Dalmatia. They erased the knowledge that you do not need their jar. You do not need their proprietary name. You do not need their $78 price tag. You do not need their permission. You need seeds, soil, sun, oil, time. The same 5 things the monks had in 600 AD. The same 5 things Hippocrates had in 400 BC. The same 5 things the flower has been waiting for since before the word collagen existed. If this story opened something for you, subscribe and hit the bell. Every like and every share preserves what they tried to erase. The next story opens soon.